Hello. Welcome to the Pinfall podcast. I'm your host, Liz. I'm joined, as always, by my co-host, Mark.
Hello.
I'm very tired. Sorry.
We
Today's episode...
apologize for the late start. Retribution got to us.
Yeah. It was the cat.
Yeah. The leader of Retribution.
So, we are talking today about this piece of hair. What is happening? Sorry. About Smackdown.
Smackdown.
Happy Smackdown Day. Not only is it Smackdown Day, it's also Friday.
What?
Cheers, brother.
Some would call it Friday Night Smackdown.
Why'd they call it that?
This happens on a Thursday.
It's McMahon, always thinking. All right, so a lot of stuff happened. I think I say this all the time for SmackDown. I always start off with a lot of stuff happened, and I don't know if any of it was good.
I like today.
Was not... You did?
Yeah, I thought it was fun.
Okay. I don't quite share that opinion. I'll humor yours.
But it's also, like, the 2 weeks before a pay-per-view, so...
Sooner or later, we're going to be saying shit like, well, you know, it is their 4 weeks before a pay-per-view episode. Like, no matter what, we're always just like, well, pay-per-view might be coming up. Maybe that's why.
At Clash of Champions, we're like, it's 4 weeks till a pay-per-view, so...
What is it gonna be? What's after Clash?
I
know November Survivor Series.
don't know, it might be No Way Back or something.
Oh,
No
I think it's
Mercy.
Hell in a Cell.
Huh.
No, I think it's Hell in a Cell.
I mean, it also changes. It's not always the same schedule.
I imagine it might be that, though, because I think I heard some talking about Bayley and should have a title match at Hell in a Cell, potentially. Right. Let's distract me from the fact that the Yankees are losing to worst teams in baseball right now. I mean, I want to do this with your clearance, Mark. Do you want to go into the news?
Yeah, just go for it.
Oh, wow. Wow. Has today really taken that much out of you?
Not today.
Now you're going to fight me on this? Well, good news for you. Good news. The news section.
Let's see what
Woo!
AEW star talks shit about WWE today that Liz has a problem with.
No, my problem today is with Chris Jericho thinking he had said something smart when he compared Roman to The Rock.
Is that news?
It was a news article that I scrolled past, therefore I call it news.
Liz just likes to take any opportunity to shit on AEW and Chris Jericho as possible.
That is not true, because they ate it. Do you really want to start that with me right now? Do you want to? We can put the podcast on hold. I'll come over. We can chat. I'll have a little chat with you if that's where you want to go.
We already started late.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize that I sidetracked so much just now.
Liz, you want to get started with the news?
Anywho, first things first. Unsurprisingly, Jackson Riker is anti-mask. That's not really news either. Just felt like sharing it because we haven't heard his name in a while, and he hasn't. His Twitter is no longer private, so if anyone wants to check it out, it's all Bible verses now. Quite literally, I went on it today. He did, however, post a picture of himself and the other two.
Steve Cutler and Wesley Blake.
Yeah. He posted a picture of them at like a wrestling ring, like from like a show a while back, I think. that said, "We will be forgotten no more." Hashtag Smackdown. I said, I wouldn't mind if you stayed forgotten for a little bit longer. Not Wesley and Mr. Cutler. They're fine.
Mm-hmm.
You, on the other hand, no. We've already had enough pandemic shit happening with wrestling. We don't need your germ-riddled body coming back.
I remember that wonderful Bible verse. Be a hero, raise your mask, and forgotten no more. Wreck shit and leave.
Amen.
Jackson 3:16.
Don't do that. Stone Cold Steve Austin comes and just smashes a beer can against your head. Yeah. So that's something. Also, fun fact, not really, but in following up with last week's piece of news, or yesterday, sorry, I'm tired.
Also lagging a lot.
Mentally and also this way. I mean, stop me if I lag too much, but let me close a couple tabs too. We discussed very briefly yesterday, or Wednesday, Jesus Christ. We discussed briefly that there was, WrestleVotes came out with an article saying that a popular WWE star had declined to re-sign with the WWE, and a lot of people were saying that it was Ricochet.
Mm-hmm.
Which Ricochet has officially ruled himself out by saying, no, that's definitely not me. I am not going anywhere. Mostly in the form of a tweet and a Wolf of Wall Street clip, but I'm going to take it for what it is. Because if I lose Ricochet, god damn it. It won't be okay. So, in addition, Melina is returning to WWE, I believe, next week? I think on Raw.
I hope she has the same return that Mickie James had. Just used for a Seth Rollins promo.
I just... one could just hope that she gets like even like a 25% better reintroduction. Because even that alone would be like, oh, you won a match, congrats.
Mm-hmm.
Kushida was announced as the first Gauntlet participant for NXT's Finn Balor Gauntlet. Whatever William Regal's calling it today.
The Elimination Gauntlet, or is it the Elimination Gauntlet or Gauntlet Elimination? I think it's Elimination Gauntlet.
That sounds better.
Yeah.
I guess are they gonna announce names once a week now, like until TakeOver?
Well, probably not once a week. Probably like once every few days, maybe.
Did I mention that WWE is considering holding TakeOver in the Thunderdome?
No, you did not.
Well, WWE is considering holding TakeOver in the Thunderdome.
What?
Which I don't know how I feel about that, because, like, I kind of thought TakeOver 30 was kind of cool. Like, the graphics that they had, like, the entrance stuff that they had, like, all the LED boards and shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of jazzy as shit. And, like, it had the same vibe as, like, NXT shows normally have, where it's a little more close. And we can't really have that nowadays, but, like, it's a smaller setting.
I mean, they can still make it look smaller in the Thunderdome. Like, I'm sure they won't use all of, like, the fans and stuff. They might, but they could still, like, give it, like, the dark atmosphere that NXT normally has. I feel like
this is a cash grab for them.
I don't know if it's a cash grab. If anything, they'd be spending more money.
I don't know how those contracts work, though. Because, like, I don't know. Sorry, there's a hole in my lip. And last but almost certainly least, in addition to the piece of news I also gave on Wednesday, different piece of news, but still Wednesday, Matt Riddle's lawyer has come out with a new statement.
Oh boy.
In light of what happened with them dismissing everything, like Tuesday, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And his lawyer's statement was as follows. On July 14th, 2020, our client Matt Riddle only sought a cyberstalking injunction against Samantha Tavell. Court set for hearing as they found probable cause for the matter to be heard. It was represented to our client and our firm that Ms. Tavell had moved on with her life and our client would no longer need to continue with the cyberstalking injunction. Our client then dismissed the cyberstalking injunction without prejudice, which left all of his legal remedies open and allowed for closure. Today, our client has elected to file a civil suit against Ms. Tavell for her continued false and defamatory statements that our client sexually assaulted her. No further statements will be made on social media on this matter at this time. I don't know what it means.
I don't know what it means either.
I guess he had to dismiss his initial cyberstalking lawsuit in order to proceed with the one he has now, which doesn't really make a ton of sense.
I think they're turning it from criminal to civil.
Well, I think it's always civil if it's like defamation or libel or slander.
Not necessarily. I don't know. I don't know how that shit works. I took one criminal law class in high school and that was it.
I took business law and they said that you really shouldn't lie about companies or your products because you could get in a lot of trouble. And I said, oh, well, there goes my business practice.
Was that all of the school year right there? All of that class? Took a really long time to say that.
Can you be nice to me for 5 seconds tonight? I want you to try. I want you to find it within you to try.
Your earrings look nice.
Or else you're going to have a slander lawsuit for me come Tuesday because I'll be saying some mean things about you on Monday.
You didn't hear what I just said, did you?
You said my hair looks nice. You can barely see it.
I said your earrings.
Oh. Thanks. I got them at J. Crew. On sale.
I think I was there with you when you got them.
You were.
Okay.
You absolutely were. It was very rainy.
It was, yeah.
That was a nice day. Remember when we could be out in, like, the world with people?
So matches and promos?
Hey! Let me just put that. There we go. Please. Sorry, lost all my muscle strength in my hand for a second. No worries. All right.
So,
yeah, head us off here.
We started off with the dirt sheet, where Miz and Morrison are kind of starting off by saying all the stuff they're going to talk about, which is basically everything going on. They say they're going to talk about, like, the Mandy thing, the Jay and Roman thing, the Intercontinental Championship thing, but they really only talk about Mandy and Otis until Otis comes out and just starts beating them up and starts removing Miz's clothes, leaving him in his tighty whities, and then that's it. Yeah.
I want to see that today.
And then that leads directly into the next promo featuring The Miz and John Morrison, where they're backstage with Kayla. I want to say that's who it was.
Charlie is Raw.
Okay, Charlie's Raw.
I remember
Kayla's
Lena saying,
SmackDown.
"Keep up, Chuck."
Right. Okay. And it seemed the vibe you're supposed to get is that they've planned this. The Miz starts laughing and makes a phone call, and that'll be referenced later on. And then we have, right before the next match, we have a little promo featuring Lucha House Party, which is basically them trying to give, or it's Lindsay and Kalisto trying to give Grand Metalik advice before his match with Cesaro. And they're both kind of conflicting with their advice, butting heads, trying to be the leader of the group when there's no clear leader, or they don't, or I don't know. It seems like Kalisto's the leader. I don't know.
The thing is, Kalisto thinks he's the leader.
Yeah.
And Lindsay said, so here's my problem, real quick, with this promo. After all the work you put in, Lindsay, all the work, all the lead up that we had, and not once tonight did you take that damn mask off.
I'm sure it's coming. Today was probably the straw that broke the camel's back. Also, yes, Blucha, Kalisto wearing a fedora. Splucha said Kalisto wearing a fedora got cheap heel heat with me. Like Sheamus. Sheamus is now wearing a fedora. Next thing you know, Kalisto is going to come out in that stupid jacket and overalls.
You know, better him than Sheamus. I'm done with it.
I think Sheamus looks good in it.
Yeah. And I should shave my head.
So you want to move us into the first fight?
I do. I just want to say that if I don't see Lindsay Dorado without a goddamn mask on by next Sunday.
You didn't mention this in the news.
I did not.
He also made a new post in addition to the one that showed him holding up his mask. One a little more solid, leading to evidence that he's going to be going without a mask. He posted a Kendrick Lamar song called Mask Off on Instagram. And that is very much on the nose. Anyway, you want to get us
it's
into
not tonight's nose.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Let's jump in. We have Grand Metalik versus Cesaro. Grand Metalik jumps right in, quickly tries to roll Cesaro up. Doesn't work. Does a bit of an awkward head scissors, as we've come to expect. But Cesaro's getting really good at selling these goddamn things. Unless there's like some sort of torque that I don't recognize happening with Grand Metalik's leggies. Cesaro really pops out of those. And then we've got Lindsay and Kalisto on the sidelines arguing with each other and yelling at Grand Metalik about X, Y, and Z. It's like having two divorced parents at your soccer game. And one's telling you to defend, and one's telling you to try to go and take the ball. And it's like, oh, God.
Real quick, I know this is stupid to acknowledge, but Splucha said that's a future song. He posted the Kendrick Lamar remix. I think it was the Kendrick Lamar remix. I know the album art has Kendrick Lamar on it. Anyway.
I don't know the song. But yeah, so Grand Metalik's divorced parents are arguing on the sidelines. Grand Metalik, he's trying to understand them. He's not. He's like, whatever, fuck this. Goes for the crossbody, but Cesaro catches him. Then kind of just like has his way, stomps him a little bit, tosses him into the turnbuckle. Grand Metalik tries to get his momentum back up, punches Cesaro, and then he gets European uppercut. Yeah, that.
Upper cute.
And Lindsay.
Upper cute. That's it.
Oh, yes. Grand Metalik got upper cute.
Yeah.
I love that. So Lindsay and Kalisto, mom and dad are still arguing on the sidelines. We got a pretty decent head scissors. I love talking. A pretty decent head scissors off the top rope to Cesaro. And then Cesaro just kind of like slams his little bicep into Grand Metalik's jaw. We then have an arm sub and a bit of oh god. Am I having a stroke? Is this how it happens? An arm sub. Grand Metalik is put into an arm sub, and that kind of turns into a bit of an abdominal stretch from Cesaro. He's then punching his way out a little bit, but he gets thrown in the corner. In the corner, he dodges Cesaro, sends him face first into the top buckle, kicks him in the good old skull noggin. And then Lindsay and Callisto are somehow, for some reason, both on the apron now, next to Grand Metalik, just yelling at him to do whatever. And finally, the ref is just like, hey, get the fuck out. Leave. Farewell. Thanks for coming. I'm really tired of listening to this. And I said, no, that's probably fair. So, as this is happening, they're kind of like pissed off. They're walking out, yelling at each other, yelling at the ref. So Cesaro throws Grand Metalik to the ground off the apron. No, he doesn't. Hey, maybe he does. Grand Metalik then gets up to the top rope, dives off onto Cesaro on the ground. Cesaro gets back up, throws Grand Metalik over his shoulders, gets a nice little chin lock on him. Grand Metalik starts punching out again, gets back up to the top rope to punch. And he looked like he was kind of going for a superplex. I'm not really sure. What I meant was Cesaro was going for the superplex. My notes are a mess tonight. Grand Metalik fights him off. Does a flying head scissors that was so obviously set up. Like, you could watch Cesaro go.
Yeah, I saw his face, and I was like, you're waiting. You're very much waiting for this.
I was like, this is not the camera angle for that. So then, after that lovely little flying head scissors, Grand Metalik does a moonsault off the top rope, right into Cesaro's little feets, just sticking right up in the air. And I said, And then, to finish everything off, Cesaro does a neutralizer on Grand Metalik to win, which it's really hard to ignore that the neutralizer looks like quite a bit of him just squishing a man's balls with his forearms. And that's where that fight ended.
And then after that, we had a little interview with Mr. Jey Uso. Don't remember so much what he talked about. Do you remember?
Didn't really talk about much. They just kind of recapped the whole Roman thing.
Okay.
I think, because like they recapped his family, and I think Jay was just kind of saying like, yeah, we're family, but I'm going to beat him, which is the same thing he said for the last 3 nights. So.
And then after that, we had
that next promo.
A promo with Matt.
No, I'm not being a jerk.
No. I know. I'm thinking about the promo. Weird. It was weird. He mentioned that he doesn't wear shoes. Even if he was with a bear, he still wouldn't wear shoes. How does that make sense?
What does that mean?
He didn't really say much at all.
He just went through the promotions.
Yeah. So after that, we had a moment of bliss with special guest Nikki Cross and Alexa. She was kind of treated like a bad guy by Nikki here. I don't get this. She had her on and was talking about her challenge with Bayley, and Alexa, like any viewer of SmackDown would notice, or any interviewer would bring up, what is she going to change about her style because she's been losing to Bayley consistently? That's a fair question, right?
It's not like she said, like, are you worried about this fight because you've lost to Bayley so much? Like, it was a very proactive, like, so what are you going to do?
Yeah.
That's maybe like, a little different.
What do you have planned? Like, what's your approach here? So I didn't like that so much, but we had Lacey Evans come out, and she's mad about the was it the Fatal 4-Way? She thinks that Nikki shouldn't have won, or if it wasn't for Alexa leaving, Nikki wouldn't have won. I don't know.
She also does like a really weird Urkel laugh.
Yeah.
I didn't like that much. Like, it was just very out of character.
Mm-hmm.
But also it's important to note that Nikki also asked Alexa, like, hey, what's been up your ass lately? Because
Oh yeah. And then Alexa
what the
just
fuck?
said, Alexa said, "What do you mean? Everything's fine. Nothing strange. You're strange."
She's like, I feel like something's like taking over me and I can't control it. And I was like,
and Lacey said that Nikki's too nice and that's why she hasn't been winning. But also it's Nikki, who is like the most aggressive women's wrestler in all of SmackDown.
that's why I love her. I feel represented.
So that's
She's
that
my last
promo.
dark-haired bitch.
And then we move into the second fight.
We were doing so well too.
Sounded like it was raining for
No,
a
it's just
second.
windy because the fall's coming. And we're all gonna be pressed soon.
So you want to get into this?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was waiting for you. I was waiting for you to figure your life out over there.
It's gonna take a while for that.
All right, can wait. So we have Nikki versus Lacey. Nikki immediately just kind of drops Lacey outside of the ring. Doesn't really wait for anyone to really start the fight. Lacey then sends a big old boot to Nikki's head. Nikki ends up on the back of Lacey like an aggressive like raccoon in like Elf. Sends an elbow to Lacey's face. Sends an elbow to Lacey's face, does her lovely little crossbody. Nikki then rolls Lacey up, and Lacey not only kicks out, but also just slams Nikki into the canvas. Does some... You getting comfy?
Adjusting the lumbar support to be less lumbar-y.
Oh. She then does kind of like she sends some knees into Nikki's elbow over and over and over again. And it almost kind of looks like a sort of modified version of like Shayna's move.
Yeah.
Except it's against the mat. Which just looks like you're setting yourself up for like a nasty little knee burn afterwards. Anyways, then we have Alexa's talking about how she doesn't think Lacey is classy, and just on cue, Lacey, who has Nikki in the corner, jumps up, and instead of sending two knees into like Nikki's face or like Sasha Banks would do, she just kind of goes crotch first into Nikki's face, and I was like, okay.
Sick.
Normal. Rocking. She then gets a half Nelson on Nikki. She takes her down in a really cool way. Lacey gets a knee to the...
What?
Gary Sanchez just tied the game in the 9th. Folks.
So I can continue with the fight if you want me to.
No, I'm good. There was 2 outs and it was Gary Sanchez. I didn't think anything was happening here. Anyways, I am back in the game. I'm here, boys. So, Lacey gets a knee to the crook of Nikki's elbow, takes her down to the canvas. Absolutely insane. I love you. Okay. Lacey is then just kind of pulling Nikki's arm as much as she possibly can out of the socket. Nikki powers out by slowly standing while Alexa Bliss is just cheering her on. Lacey then clotheslines Nikki to get her back down to a horizontal position. Nikki shoves Lacey and Lacey slams Nikki once more. It's kind of her thing tonight. Sends some more knees to the elbow, kicks her in the forearm, does a standing moonsault, landing her little knees right into Nikki's ribs. And then the weird thing happened, and it's the first weird thing that happened in this match, but like the ref just kind of let Lacey pour hand sanitizer in Nikki's eyes, which I guess isn't an automatic DQ.
I mean, even Michael Cole was like, "How is that legal?"
Which is interesting because like, didn't the match end in a DQ with the Bobby Fish, Roddy versus Drake and Killian because Bobby got a chair out?
Yeah.
Isn't that how that's how that ended? But hand sanitizer, alcohol in somebody's eye.
It just sanitizes. That's all it does.
Oh, now the WWE cares about sanitary precautions.
Yeah.
It is clearly not hand sanitizer. Nikki is up and moving relatively quickly, and I've seen someone get hand sanitizer in their eyes, and it takes much longer than that to recover. She kind of does like an inverted bulldog to Lacey, which I thought was really cool. She gets Lacey in the corner and is just clobbering her. She tosses Lacey over her shoulders. She stomps her hand, and then kicks her right in the face. And then we get my favorite part of any Nikki Cross fight, which is the goddamn tornado DDTs and the goddamn neck breakers. It's like, it's so fun to see a DDT in any fight, really. Especially a tornado DDT. And you got Nikki doing them as like almost a guarantee in every match that she's in. And I love it. It brings me joy. Nikki then wins. She's feeling great. Alexa is so happy for her best friend. She's so pumped up. And then you kind of realize you're like, okay, we can cut away from this fight now. We can go do something else. I'm sure there's something else we could do right now. But no, we watch Lacey crawl her way out of the ring and crawl her way up to the announce desk while Alexa Bliss just sits there all cute like, mm. And then Lacey mentions the Fiend. And naturally, Alexa Bliss just checks the fuck out. And Sister Abigail's her after giving her a little smooch, which, frankly, wish it were me. And then she just kind of moses off in her dazed and confused fashion.
Dazed and confused.
See? On purpose.
Anyway, so after that we had oh boy, little promo featuring the saddest woman alive. I don't even know if you could say alive now. The saddest woman.
Can I make one point real quick before you get all the way into this?
Yeah.
This bitch knows how to cut a fucking promo.
Oh, absolutely.
This shit was bananas. Continue. Sorry.
So it's Sasha basically addressing everything that Bayley said and putting her more on the face scale than anything. She's just sad. She just goes on and it makes me feel sad. And there's 3 things guaranteed in this world. Death, taxes, and Bayley hitting you from behind with a steel chair. And that happened at the end of this promo. And then she got her neck trapped in the chair again and almost squashed it, but a bunch of people from the Performance Center pulled her away.
Quite literally, it looked like a mother, a father, and like their 20-year-old son or something.
Mm-hmm.
That is exactly what that dynamic looked like, and I was like, who are you guys? You're not Adam Pearce. Yeah, no, dude. To watch Sasha call Bayley fucking naive, because not only have they been replaying everything that's happened up until this point, across the board, which just breaks my heart even further. On top of that, Sasha Banks, I mean, I guess, hey, makes sense. She's in The Mandalorian. I guess she's a good actress. My girl had me sitting there like, I'll fucking fight Bayley for you. I don't care. Damn.
I wouldn't wouldn't use being in the Mandalorian as a evidence of being a good actress because you have Gina Carano there. But yeah, Sasha is very good, and Splucha. Bailey didn't track down Sasha to the LMF she was staying at. She was for some reason at the Performance Center. I don't know why.
And it was funny because like going into this, I was like, it'd be funny if like she's making this really heartfelt fucking promo where she's like, "Hey, you know what? You're an asshole. I hate you. How could you think that I would ever want to hurt you?" And I was like, it'd be really fucking funny if she cut this promo and then all of a sudden Bailey comes out of nowhere and smacks her with a fucking chair. But I didn't say anything because I was like, no, let's just enjoy the moment. And then Bailey came out of fucking nowhere and smacked her with a chair, and I was like, oh, all right. Sure. All right.
You want to get us into our next fight?
Yeah, right. Folks. Who's the real Intercontinental Champion is starting to become like a Laurel and Hardy who's on first or who's on third.
Who do you
So
think?
AJ and Sami. I want it to be Sami. I don't like Jeff and I don't like AJ.
I think Sami's it's the Miz.
All right, Corey Graves, calm down.
No, he'd say like Bailey's the real Intercontinental Championship person.
Well, he's just like, well, Sami disappeared for no reason. I'm like, are we ever gonna get around to that reason though? Because like, I know the real reason, but
knowing WWE, we'll get there in December.
Next WrestleMania. It's not even a joke. So we start off, Sami's arguing with Greg Hamilton because he really wants to be announced as the champion. And while he's doing so, AJ attacks him from behind. AJ does a nasty little flying backbreaker to Sami. Sami dodges a punch, but falls victim to another backbreaker. Frankly, the fact that Sami walked out of there tonight with his back standing up straight was pretty impressive. He kicks AJ in the face, drives him into the mat, then gets a little chin lock on him. AJ sends some elbows to Sami to break out. Sami then throws AJ over the top rope. AJ lands on the apron and then gets punched in the face, which is sort of how I feel 9 times out of 10. Sami then bounces AJ's head on the buckle, and I'm going to pronounce this the way that you don't want me to, okay? So I apologize now. AJ then dodges Sami's haluva kick.
Hell of a kick.
There you go.
It's hell of a kick. It's a hell of a kick.
You're right. And this causes Sami to go leg straight out first into the post, which AJ then, I guess this is his. It was basically the Phenomenal Forearms. It looked a little messy though. Out of the ring to take Sami down onto the ground. AJ is then on the top rope. Sami scrambles up to meet him. Looks like he's kind of setting up for, or actually, I think Sami put him there. Scrambles up there, trying to set up for a superplex, but AJ Styles just kind of slips right out and sends Sami face first into the turnbuckle. Sami then dodges an actual well-executed Phenomenal Forearm, and then hangs AJ's chin on the top rope with quite a bit of force. It does not deter AJ. AJ gets Sami down on the ground with a fucking irresponsible neckbreaker. It was wild. I love a good neckbreaker. Maybe it's because I'm a sucker for the RKO, but I love a good neckbreaker.
And Sling Blade, which is kind of a neckbreaker. Or Bulldog.
Well, the Bulldog is near and dear to my heart. They're then exchanging blows. AJ Styles does a Pele kick to Sami, and then kind of takes himself out. AJ looks like he wants to spike Sami, but Sami avoids it. Gets into a position to pull off his blue thunder bomb to AJ after giving AJ a wedgie, which probably wasn't intentional in a sense, but he grabbed the back of his pants as he walked away, and I was like, eh. AJ looks like he's going for a calf crusher. Sami rolls right through. Then Sami's setting up for another haluva kick.
Haluva kick.
Styles then dodges it and is rolled up by Sami. And I guess there's some discourse here now between Sami and the referee, because Jessica says Sami originally had done a turnbuckle exploder to AJ, rolled him up. She said, "You're holding onto his tights. I'm not counting to 3." And then AJ rolled Sami up and held onto his tights, and Sami was pissed. So, like, it was weird. Referees are getting a little too much spotlight as of lately.
What if the refs are retribution?
Don't say that about Charles Robinson. How dare you?
All of them except Charles Robinson. Although, where do you think Charles went?
And John Cone.
Where do you think Charles went when the ring exploded?
He went to the Firefly Funhouse, and you goddamn know that. That's why we haven't seen him in years.
Oh.
Or weeks.
No, we've seen him.
Have we?
He was on an episode after Payback.
Charles, you've slipped my mind so easily.
Because remember, you were like, "Oh, there's Charles. He already said he was okay on Twitter. But there he is."
You know, knowing me, I probably said it exactly like that too.
Yeah.
Which is embarrassing. So then, as if this match couldn't get any weirder or less desirable, Jeff Hardy comes out. Yay, Jeff Hardy. Woo. Wants to attack Sami. Yay. And AJ, because I guess he's, priorities. Jeff Hardy just talks shit for however goddamn long. I couldn't tell you. And then he announces that if you guys want to fight me so much, then fine. We'll fight at Clash in a ladder match. And it's a triple threat. I don't really know. I don't really care. I don't really think Jeff Hardy should be the one doing ladder matches at this point in his life, but maybe his back surgeon needs to go on vacation again. I swear to God, with Jeff Hardy. And later on, they were talking about how he's going to be on Talking Smack, and they're like, and Jeff Hardy gets some answers about his ladder match at Clash. And I was like, why does he need answers? He's the one who made the goddamn match. What answers is he missing? Who else can give them?
So, after that, we had a promo with Heavy Machinery, where Otis and Tucky are in the locker rooms, doing their thing, and then a guy comes in with an envelope and says, "You've been served." Apparently, The Miz filed a lawsuit against Otis, where he has to give up the Money in the Bank contract. What else did you expect?
Yeah, I mean, the lawsuit was, I believe, for emotional damages and Money in the Bank contract negligence.
Now, I assume this is going to be each party has somebody represent them. Like Otis and Tucky need a lawyer to represent them, and then Miz and Morrison will either represent themselves or have somebody represent them. If they have somebody represent them, it's going to be Bobby Roode.
What legal experience does Bobby Roode have?
He's glorious.
Your Honor, I'm glorious. And the judge is like, yeah, you know what? Sure, throw it out. We're good.
And if Otis and Tucky pick someone, it's going to be Jackson Riker.
Why you gotta do my boys like that?
No, it's going to be Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, all right.
or Daniel Bryan.
Dude, actually, maybe.
Yeah.
I could see that. I can't hold myself back anymore. I really want to talk about the next promo. I want you to talk about the next promo. Because I think this might be the week.
So Sheamus and Corbin, also we'll see if it's a week. If anything, there's next week. But Sheamus and Corbin are talking backstage, and they're talking about their match later on, just regular old stuff. And then security comes out, and Sheamus recognizes him and was like, "Hey, you're the guy who tricked Big E into coming out so I could beat him up. Good job." And then he's like, "Yeah, thanks, dude. Your car's being towed. You should go check that out." And then Sheamus goes into the garage to check it out. And there's a man in a security outfit. Turns around. It's fucking Big E. Big E's back, baby. And he beats the shit out of Corbin a little bit. But not as bad as he beats up the security guard who fooled him in the first place. No, wait, what?
He beat up Sheamus.
Well, he beat up Sheamus a little bit. What did I say?
Corbin.
Oh. He beat up Sheamus a little bit. And then the security guard specifically saying, "I don't know your name, but I'm gonna call you Larry." As he's beating the shit out of him. And then he slams him into a car. And then Adam Pearce comes out and is like, "Whoa, you gotta leave. Like, you need to actually leave." I don't know what that means. Like, actually leave as opposed to metaphorically leave. But I don't know. Is this a heel turn for Mr. E? For Mr. Entropy? Who knows? Big Entropy? Who knows? Maybe Kofi will come in and be like, "Yo, dude, relax." Or Xavier will come in and say that too. Worst promo of the night. I'm kidding.
No, because the thing is that it seemed like widely agreed upon by E and Sheamus that the security guard did that intentionally, when the security guard truly just seemed to be stirring the goddamn pot.
Mm-hmm.
Which, respect. But I don't think this is a heel turn. I just think that we're gonna see a wicked goddamn fight between E and Sheamus at some point soon.
Sheamus needs to relax, though. He needs a fucking nap. First, he's fighting Jeff Hardy for a while. Now he's fighting Roman for God knows how long. And next, he's going to be fighting Big E for a while. The dude needs to sleep. He needs a nap.
Maybe that's why he's been wearing this goddamn coat for so fucking long.
That's
all
his
the brain cells are
pajamas.
Dead. He's like, "This looks so cool." Alright, let's go.
So after that, can't sleep, he's a junkie. An adrenaline junkie.
He's been sitting at that bar for so long, ever since he lost. He's been stuck in, it's like Hotel California for him. That's why he never changes.
And then after that, we had another segment with the mystery girl.
Dude, I don't even fucking care about her anymore.
It's almost definitely Carmella, and if it is, I don't care. Carmella does not deserve all this hype. If it was like Charlotte Flair, absolutely. If it was Trish Stratus, absolutely. I'm down.
It's like Carmella didn't even leave on a high note.
Yeah.
We saw her a couple times after Money in the Bank, I think.
I feel like she was kind of on the same level as Dana Brooke.
Yeah, like, I see, if Dana Brooke were to just vanish for a couple months, I would not think twice about it.
She has.
I'd just be like...
She has.
Well, she was back for the Royal Rumble thing.
Was she?
Or not Royal Rumble, sorry, the Battle Royale with the women to challenge for Bayley's belt at SummerSlam? Payback?
No. Was she there?
Yeah. I know, it's hard to remember when there's 41 people, but, like, remember, because Dana Brooke was out of the goddamn ring for an extended period of time, and we were like, how is she? And she got back into the fight, and we were like,
Yeah.
I don't think that's the rules.
And then,
But-
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, at this point, like, if it's Carmella, her new fucking gimmick, her new fucking moves, her everything better be fucking flawless. Because there is no excuse.
I just want Trish Stratus back and Charlotte. I miss Charlotte so much.
We'll get her back soon. I know this is not Charlotte, though. And I know it's not Trish Stratus.
We'll see.
Sit the fuck down, Aaron Judge. Christ my crap.
Anyway,
move on, please.
After that, we had the lead into the last fight, but we started off with Roman Reigns talking in the ring. I'll count this as promo. Paul Heyman's about to speak, but then Roman's like, and then Paul's just like, oh, okay, all right, big man, big dog, get hands on the mic. And Roman, I don't even remember what he said. What did he say? Wreck everyone and leave? Is that what he said?
I can almost guarantee you that, like, what he said had something to do with family and how it doesn't matter when it comes to Clash of Champions. I can guarantee you he said that. To some degree.
Was that when the montage was shown of, like, Jay and Roman as kids? Or was that a different point? I think that was a different point.
I think that was a different point. Yeah, that was, like, earlier on. That was when... That was a separate promo in and of itself. It was a cute promo.
Yeah.
But that was not now.
Well, I don't know what he was fucking talking about. And then Jay comes out, and then we start the next fight. Liz.
Shall I bring us home? Should I bring us home?
No.
She bat me. She bat me. She said yes. Actually, she said pet me more or else I'll bite you. All right. We got Corbin doing the good entrance. Roman immediately sends Corbin all the way out of the ring. Shortly thereafter. Jay goes off the barricade onto him. And now, what you don't see when this happens, after Jay goes off the barricade onto him, Corbs goes off to the side a little bit. In the meantime, Sheamus is sparring with Roman. Roman throws him over the barricade. Jay kicks him. Corbin throws a chair at Roman's whole goddamn face. You don't see it until I cut back to it a couple minutes later. But the look on Roman's face as the chair collided with him, priceless. It was like, he then does a deep six to Jay. I love fucking seeing that move. That's a goddamn move.
Yeah.
And Roman now has, like, some shit in his eye, it looks like, after getting the chair thrown at him. Corbin attacks him. He still gets kicked in the goddamn face, so not really useful. Steel chair from Roman to Corbin's back multiple times. Sheamus then knees Roman in the chin. Corbs kind of comes around. He punches him. Then Sheamus and Roman are just kind of... Well, actually, Sheamus is punching Roman, and Roman's standing there and just taking it like a man. Then Sheamus and Corbin launch Roman over the announce desk. They spill a water bottle. Corbin starts punching Jey Uso, kind of taking him out for the meantime. They set up a table together, he and Corbin and Sheamus, because they're friends. And Jey, insecure Sheamus, kicks Corbin in the face. Jey goes up to the top rope. He's ready to do something. But Corbin and Sheamus grab a leg each. And they pull him down, crouch first into the buckle. And then they pick him up again and throw him into the table. Now, Roman then sees that Corbin is down on his level once more and throws an entire office chair, one of the chairs that Michael and Corey sit in. Throws an entire office chair at Corbin. Um, and Sheamus says, "Hey, wait, that's my buddy. Only I get to beat him up." So he runs his little forearms into Roman's face.
You mean Corbin?
No. Corbin got hit by a chair and was laying down there by the edge of the apron for a very long time.
No, Sheamus got hit by the chair.
No.
I
promise you. Sheamus was fighting Jay.
Okay.
And then he comes down and he's like, "Cha." So Sheamus then, after having forearmed the shit out of Roman, clears the announce desk and gets Roman up there. And he's going for the white noise. And he doesn't get it. Roman gets his way out of it. Sends a low blow to Sheamus, which is legal, as Michael Cole wanted us to all remember. That was very much legal in this tag team match because it was a Samoan street fight. Romas. That's a pairing. Roman tries to then send Sheamus through the table instead. But it doesn't break. Instead, they just land on a solid goddamn table.
I bet it hurt.
Yeah, oh god, yeah.
And then after that, something was like leaking out of the table. It was just pouring out of there.
I think it was just water, but like, I don't know. I don't know what they do over there.
It looked like it was like a flask or something. Maybe.
Dude, do you think Michael Cole's just chugging shit back there?
It was on Corey Graves' side.
Wow, Corey. Drinking at work. Fucking professional.
Yeah?
Anyways.
Yeah?
Me and Corey Graves. WrestleMania 37.
This is a bad bit. I don't like this bit.
I am so fighting him. It's gonna happen. Anywho, Corbin then chooses to avenge his fallen Irishman. Does not do anything. Roman just spears Sheamus instead. Jay dives at Corbin. Corbin catches him by the neck, tosses him into the timekeeper's area. Roman then spears Corbin. Jay does an Uso splash to win. And Ro's like, okay, all right. And he hugs Jay and he's like, "Love you, man. I love you. I love you so fucking much. I love you. I love you." And then Jay's like, "Come on, bud. We're going backstage now." And Roman just stands in the middle of the ring. And as Jay leaves, he's like, I love storytelling.
Roman's a damn good actor.
I'm in love with him. He's got a good face for like expression.
Yeah.
And I think it also helps that his voice is so like deep and like rumbly.
Mm-hmm.
That it helps to hide literally any emotion. All right. So my glasses are on. You know what that means.
So last time, did we do like the most risen, most fallen before?
I don't think we did.
Well, no, we did it last week. Did we do it before best of the night? Or do we do it after?
I think we did it before.
Before?
That's a little shorter, so. Vibes?
Just drop my pen. That's okay. I'll pick it up after. Anyway, so I wish we decided for this, most risen or biggest jump, biggest fall. That's probably the best title I can give it.
I'll try to make signs at some point.
So, the biggest jump, shockingly, actually both of these people are from NXT. The biggest jump, shockingly, despite her match being a loss, was Shotzi Blackheart. She rose 82 ranks because of our picks for her for fight and fighter of the night. That jumped her up 82
does that
spots.
point into it?
Yeah.
Alright. Vibes. All vibes.
And the biggest fall was your boy, your son, Tim Tam Thatchy Thatch.
No!
Who lost his match against Damian Priest for the North American title. He fell 77 spots because it was a title match and a main event. Mwah, mwah.
Blows.
Yeah. Splucha actually Big E had the biggest fall. But he fell off of the list. He's not on it anymore. Anyway. So, best of the night?
Hell yeah, brother. Let me just pop this chat out. Let me just find out why Aroldis Chapman's swearing. This actually also gave me time to fix sort of kind of the blue sign. That was fucked up. Still is a little bit. You can see it popping off there. Alright. Promo?
Promo of the night. So we started off with Dirt Sheet. An alright Dirt Sheet. Wish they hadn't teased it by saying that Miz was going to talk about all this stuff. Only for him to talk about one thing. I think what makes this promo good is the tie-in promos later on. But after that, we had the next promo in the storyline, which is Miz and Morrison backstage, featuring Miz in his underwear, who I don't think had gotten dressed by that point. And then we had a promo with Lucha House Party. Didn't know a single thing they were saying. They were speaking so goddamn fast.
And quietly.
Yeah. And then we had an interview with Jay, which didn't really give us any new info. We had a promo with Matt Riddle, which was very weird. Very weird. Very weird. Then we had a Moment of Bliss, which I liked Moment of Bliss. Lacey Evans' appearance was a bit weird. Nikki treating Alexa like the bad guy for asking a simple question was weird. But it is what it is. And then we had the Sasha Banks promo. One of the most depressing promos we've ever gotten. Yeah. So after that we had the Heavy Machinery promo, which was really funny. Because kind of Tucky kind of explaining all the charges to Otis. That was really funny.
Serving what? Hot dishes?
Oh,
no, it's
God.
a lawsuit.
I just want to see Tucky explain very basic things to Otis, and for Otis to not understand any of them. And then we had the promo with Sheamus and Corbin, which is the reappearance of Big E. We had the Mystery Girl, and then we had Roman Reigns giving his introduction in the ring. There's only one promo I could really give it to. One that really deserves it for being sort of the highlight of tonight in terms of promos, being the best, featuring the best wrestlers. And that's the Mystery Girl. No, it's the promo with Sheamus and Corbin and Big E.
Woo! It's finally happened! It's actually Big E's week, almost, sort of, kind of. How did we get here, boys?
Spooch was like, wait. No, it's Big E. Liz, is he your pick too?
No, actually. No, it's someone completely different. Yes, of course
It's
it
Lucha
is.
House Party.
It's only for that grand reveal. My brain straight up was like lying to me. It was like, that's not Big E. It's literally anyone else. And I was like, but it's gotta be. Who else could it possibly fucking be?
I knew immediately it was Big E. I was like, yep. Yep, that's him.
Just the fire in his fucking eyes when he turned around and the fucking, I don't know your name. I'm gonna call you Larry.
Oh, God. I know you kind of don't like him, but I'm warming up to Adam Pearce. I think his appearance on WWE brands.
Useless.
But
He's just like, you have to leave. And the person who he's talking to is always like, yeah, Adam, sure. Bye.
But he adds so much to the promos, whereas like if they just had some random security guy or some random official doing it, whereas it's I just forgot his name. Adam Pierce. No.
Oh.
No.
Oh, you forgot. No, I got.
Yeah, no. Adam Pierce is like, I don't know. He adds like this backstage executive element to WWE, which I really like. So yeah.
I just don't like that he's taking Pat Buck's job now, it seems.
Well, Pat Buck's still there. He's just recovering emotionally after being beaten up by Nia Jax twice.
Oh, boy.
So, fighter of the night.
I feel like we crossed the threshold here.
Yeah?
Damn. Brother.
Just kidding. It's the Jey Uso interview.
God damn it, Marcus.
So fighter of the night?
Yeah, that one.
Alright, so we started
off. Don't fall for it.
We started off with Grand Metalik versus Cesaro. And both these wrestlers did a great job today. I'd give the edge to Cesaro more. Mostly because Grand Metalik's punches and hits were so soft.
His parents are going through a divorce right now, Mark.
That is, if anything, that would make you punch harder. He was hitting like, eh.
Actually, I slapped a girl shortly after my parents got divorced, though.
We're opening up on this podcast. All right.
Hey.
My parents aren't divorced.
Mark doesn't come from a broken home. Neither do
I. So, yeah, I think Cesaro ultimately did the better job in this fight. He was the more convincing of the two. I would have given it to Grand Metalik, but his jabs and punches were just, they were too soft, too fake for me. Meanwhile, Cesaro, I think, was just the better man in general. You look like you just saw a ghost or something.
I saw Iron Judge.
Okay. So after that, we had Nikki Cross versus Lacey Evans. I'm going to give the edge here to Lacey Evans. Nikki came alive in the last 5 seconds, and that's really it. Lacey did a better job fighting in general in the fight, and I think gave a better like emotional performance than Nikki did in 99% of the fight.
I just think this is some anti-brunette rhetoric, as well as some anti-crazy bitch rhetoric, which I respect both aspects of Nikki's personality.
Also, Lacey Evans is a crazy bitch.
Lacey Evans definitely seems like the type of lady who gets like escorted out of a Walmart for not wearing a mask. And you cannot tell me that I'm wrong.
You're kind of quoting what Michael Cole said about her.
No, Alexa Bliss said that she seems like the lady who would return her food multiple times at a restaurant and then shove all the mints in her bag. Yeah. Different thing, same person though. We're just using different stories.
But I mean, no matter who this is, they're not going to compete with who I picked for the full fighter of the night. So after that, we had AJ Styles versus Sami Zayn, and I picked AJ.
Oh my god, heel turn for Mark.
I mean, in this fight, nobody looked amazing. Everyone had like a couple good moments, but I think overall AJ looked better. I don't know. I love Sami. Don't get me wrong. I just think he needs a better fight, which he will get at Clash of Champions in the triple threat ladder match.
He needs a pay-per-view.
Yeah, he needs a pay-per-view. This fight didn't really do him service. Meanwhile, AJ puts so much effort into literally every fight he's in. And then lastly, we have Roman Reigns and Jey Uso versus Sheamus and King Corbin. I gave the edge to Roman here. Roman looked great.
He didn't even mention Jey Uso in that comment.
I did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
My brain literally only heard Roman Reigns versus King Corbin. Sorry.
So you were also ignoring that I left out Sheamus.
Until he stopped wearing that coat, he's also left out of my brain. So.
But yeah, I picked Roman for this fight because I don't know. Nobody was looking amazing in this fight. Roman at least looked like the biggest character here. His spear looked great. His emotions were awesome. It's Roman.
And no Superman punches.
No Superman punches. Have we seen a Superman punch at all since he came back?
Yes.
Oh. Well, I want to pick for fighter of the night. It's Cesaro.
Oh, for real, for real.
Yeah. I feel like you disagree. Oh yeah, Cesaro right now, let me tell you exactly. Cesaro is ranked number 7. Right behind Matt Riddle.
Yeah, I don't agree with you.
Who's your pick? I'm curious.
My pick is go forth.
I just wanted to address Splucha real quick. Matt Riddle got there because of his just general record in matches. He is for this year he is 16-5, has won 1 title, defended it twice, lost it once. He has had six main event wins. Yeah, he's got a great record.
Sorry, we're having like a bit of a Diaz inning over here. Anywho, I want to go with Nikki.
Really? She didn't come alive till
Yeah.
like the last 2 seconds.
Yeah, but my god, dude, when she fucking comes alive,
She did 2 moves.
she did many more moves than that.
Looks like she just did like the that DDT and then like the neck breaker.
She did not. She did an inverted bulldog. She destroyed Lacey Evans in a corner for a while. She had a massive fucking toss over her shoulders. She got like a little petty with it. She stomped Lacey's hand and then kicked her in the face. Then we had the DDT. Then we had the neck breaker. But like on top of that, it's just like. Also, I think one thing I really like to see is like actual like intelligent ways of like getting out of a submission hold. And Nikki did that several times tonight. I really like watching her. I haven't gotten like I don't want to say tired because I'm not tired watching Cesaro by any means. I just, even with Cesaro tonight, it's like he always has some really cool moves, and I think that's because it's partially due to the way that he's built. He's got an amazing body to do a lot of shit. But like even though like the one thing that we really like from him, which is the European uppercut, just looks a little funky tonight. Like just not right.
I mean, that's not even the reason I love him. I think the European uppercut is very it's one of the most flawed moves in all of wrestling because every time you see it, it looks like it misses by a mile. Every time. Except that one time where Cesaro launched up, was it Kalisto or Lindsay? And an European uppercut him?
Sorry, you can continue.
I was just saying there are very few moments where it really looks like it connects. Most of the time, it looks like it misses by a mile.
I don't think I'm a pretty good mark for like missed moves, but like I've never thought that actually. Funny enough.
There's another move that looks like it misses by a mile, but I can't remember it right now.
Are you still talking about Cesaro?
No, just in general.
Oh, okay. you want to talk about Indus Sher and their finisher? Because that's one of them. I really wasn't that impressed with Cesaro for most of this match, and we've been watching these two, we watched Cesaro and Shinsuke versus all of Lucha House Party multiple times over, and I've enjoyed a lot of those matches, even if there are some moves, like, especially with the head scissors lately, it haven't felt quite as, in Smackdown especially, it hasn't felt quite as effective, I guess, if that's a way to put it. Yeah. I don't know. I just wasn't that impressed tonight. And I think maybe the problem is that I've got a lot of matches to compare this one to, which makes it harder to be impressed by it.
We're not talking about matches yet. We're talking about fighters.
Oh, no, but what I'm saying is I have a lot of... My mental backlog is full of Cesaro versus anyone in Lucha House Party. I've seen a lot of those matches. This Cesaro was not nearly as impressive as Cesaro on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
I love watching Nikki just go through goddamn hell and finally reach that breaking point of, like, I'm going to kill someone. And if there were ever a person I would want her to take that out on, it is 100% Lacey.
All right.
That's my argument.
I understand your points. I'm still going to respectfully disagree.
Shit.
So I already know where Splooch's vote's going. It's between Cesaro and Nikki Cross. So make your votes in the chat who you think should be tonight's fighter of the night between Nikki Cross and Cesaro.
This feels like holding a court case. There's one member in the jury. You're like, can you go make a decision? And the guy's like, yeah, guilty? Fucking no. Sure. God damn. This game's gonna break me. This game's gonna break me in half, dude.
Can we talk about something real quick? This is completely unrelated to wrestling, but when they showed the commercial for like the Joe Biden Donald Trump debate, the ad came up like it was like a sports event.
They showed an ad for that?
Yeah. It was like, watch the most controversial, in-demand debate of all time between Donald Trump and Joe Biden.
I think I mistook that for a Fox News ad.
Oh, did you?
Stop paying attention, actually. Because if it's what I think it was, I definitely 100% was just like, I don't want to watch this with my own eyes.
Yeah, it very much felt like a sports event being advertised. So, Splucha, you're picking Nikki. Is that your final vote? Anyone else in the chat wanna give a little vote ski?
Boys, we got out of this inning. Give me
Splucha.
No.
Where are you going, Liz? Where are you going? Where is she? What's she? I don't know where she's going. What is she doing? Oh my god, Liz. Well, I'm on my own right now because Liz just walked off camera and is now doing whatever. You can kind of see her in the mirror there. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pick Nikki Cross for tonight's fighter of the night since Liz has abandoned us. Oh, Nikki Cross. You want to know where Nikki Cross is? Okay. Well, let's find out where Nikki Cross is. Nikki Cross, not doing so hot. She is ranked 160 with 9 wins and 12 losses this year. Minus 6 points because let's see. She's lost 4 title matches. That's where her big losses came from, was losing title matches. And she lost 3 pay-per-view matches. So, like, the really weighted matches she's lost. Hi. You abandoned us.
My laptop was dying. I can't. We're in extra innings. I can't miss the game.
So, fighter of the night is Nikki Cross. Now, fight of the night. We started off with Grand Metalik versus Cesaro, which was a good match overall. Although it kind of ended because of a little distraction on the part of Kalisto and Lindsay, the ending didn't directly come from that distraction. It is a little bit cheap, but it kind of serves the story, and it wasn't directly related to the loss. So I'll give it points there. But overall, it was a good match. Not the best match we've seen from these two wrestlers lately, but it wasn't bad. And then we had Nikki Cross versus Lacey Evans. A really good match that ended with the really cool ending. Kind of what everyone expected, but still, I think having a predictable ending is sometimes really good. I think overall this fight had really great stuff all around. Would have just loved to see a little bit more from Nikki. Did love those little elbow hyperextensions from Lacey. Those were nice.
It was a different move, for sure.
Yeah. I think overall we're seeing like a Lacey that's kind of developing her style more and kind of evolving it to kind of differentiate herself. I really like it overall. I think she's getting a lot better. I just want to see Nikki kind of be a little less awkward. I think that's my problem with her. She seems very awkward right now.
I think that comes from, maybe I'm giving everyone in WWE a little too much credit here. I think that comes from the fact that, like, she's in this position now where, like, she's tried to get this title so many goddamn times. And I think it would change if she had gotten the title at some point.
Yeah.
However, the one problem we're having right now is that Sasha Banks made it very clear that when she's ready to fight again, she's coming for the fucking title to take it off of Bayley.
As everyone expected.
Now, here's the thing. Right, that makes sense. That's the payoff. So, like, am I really gonna have to sit through another pay-per-view event where Nikki loses to Bayley another fucking time? Am I really gonna have to sit through that?
Yep. So yeah, after that we had AJ Styles versus Sami Zayn, which was a good fight overall. I think today was full of just good fights. I liked this fight, but it wasn't perfect. I just think it didn't have much to it. I just spit all over.
Very handsome. Wow.
Yeah, it didn't feel like there was much to it. There wasn't much complexity in the fight, and there wasn't much story being intertwined with it. But then we move into Roman and Jay versus Sheamus and Corbin. Really good fight, in my opinion. I think this fight had everything going for it. We had kind of a great showing from Sheamus and Corbin, while also an amazing showing from Roman, and we kind of got to see a little more of Jay showing what he's capable of and giving a reason why he can wrestle Roman for the title. I just feel bad for Sheamus and Corbin at this point. They're the wrestlers that you can throw into main events when you want the opponent to get a win. Because we're going to go back to the stats here. Corbin has been in 10 main events this year. 10 main event matches. He's lost 9. And Sheamus, well, let's try and find Sheamus here, shall we? Sheamus has been in 7 main event matches and lost 6. So he's very much the Finn Balor. Corbin and Sheamus are the Finn Balors of Smackdown.
WWE's not like Irish people, apparently.
Yeah, or kings. They don't like royalty because Finn's the demon prince. King Corbin.
Alright, that's
Sheamus.
fair. Yeah, you're right. There we go. It all makes sense now, boys.
But my pick for fight of the night is you'll probably disagree, but Roman and Jay versus Sheamus and Corbin.
Yeah, now, huh?
Yeah.
Interesting. Oof. Okay.
I think that hug at the end really like solidified a strong story and like a complex character moment that we had where everyone expected Roman to just attack Jay, but that we had a moment where Roman recognized that they're family, which will make the squash a lot worse because he consciously knows they're family and loves Jay, but will still crush him.
I did not see it like that at all, actually. Not that this discounts what you're saying at all. Because one way or another, still important. I kind of saw that more as him being like, yeah, bud, we're brothers. We're cousins, like we come from the same family, we got the same life experiences, it's you and me together. Don't you dare think that like when I kill you at Clash, it's because I don't like you, because I do. It looked like him saying that and then just being like, oh, I'm gonna fucking rip his head off, just so you fucking know. Like that's what that looked like to me. Just the way that like the moment Jay turned his back was when Roman's face went like.
I feel like if it was that though, he would have done kind of the same thing he did last week, where he gave a look to Jay when Jay rose his arm. He would have just been like, "Oh, you want a hug? Okay."
I think that this is his way of psyching him out because he did. I think he looked at Paul like, it's gonna make Thanksgiving real fucking weird, but gonna have to do it, huh? I don't know. I would prefer that in a weird way because then that's like he's being a deceitful little bastard at that point, which I love. But it's hard for me. I did really like the Cesaro Grand Metalik match because although we do always complain about interruptions, like you said, that didn't really affect the outcome per se. And on top of that, it was an interruption that kind of pushed a story along. And it's the first time we've seen it, so I give it that pass.
Liz, stay focused. Stay focused. Let's go.
Oh, it's so fucking hard sometimes. God damn the fucking Yankees. Anyways, I liked that match a lot for that reason. However, it is hard for me to not say that the Roman J match was good because we also didn't get like a ton of near falls. We didn't get a ton of pins. No, not covers.
We saw a lot of use of the environment and not just like a bunch of chairs.
It was a pretty good syndicated street fight as opposed to like a pay-per-view one.
We also saw the first moment in the Thunderdome where the barrier was broken.
Yeah, that was a hard fucking hit. Sheamus just kind of like laid there like, no, I don't have a reason to move anymore. I'm old as shit. You know what? Fuck it. Sure. I'm going with you. There you go. You happy?
Yes.
I'm certainly not. The moment I goddamn looked over at this fucking screen, I saw Loizaga was in. Oh, boy. Oh. Just when I think I'm done with sports.
Bring me back in.
All right. You want to play us back?
Play us back. Our promo of the night, Big E's Retribution. Fighter of the night, Nikki Cross. Fight of the night, Roman Reigns and Jey Uso versus Sheamus and King Corbin. A very diverse best of the night.
Yeah. You don't have those very often.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Monday, still TBD. I need to know what my schedule looks like as far as work is concerned before I can commit to that being alone. Because that's going to be an extra line for me to toe. Chances are I'll probably do it. Even with Mark being gone. It'll be weird. I don't know how good it's going to be of a podcast, but I would love it if you tuned in. Because I don't know, guys. I don't know. Anyways, so Monday night, we will keep you updated. At this point, consider Monday night's podcast on until further notice.
And for said notice, you can go to our Twitter at the Pinfall Cast.
Yes. And perhaps maybe if we don't do it Monday, we could try to consider doing a brief little Tuesday podcast. Possibly. If Mark doesn't kill me.
Possibly.
Because maybe it'll be a little more relaxed. We could do it at a different time, earlier even.
Possibly.
If that ends up being if we don't do the Monday one, we will try to do it at Tuesday. I think that's a fair trade-off. This was not discussed prior to this podcast. That's why Mark's looking at me like that. But I'm the idea man here. Anyways, thank you so much for watching us. Thank you so much for watching us. God damn it. Please tune in when we do the Raw podcast. Again, as of now, it's on for Monday. And then we're entering the golden week of wrestling. Because it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday.
Sunday.
Who watches football when you could watch us talk about wrestling?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, so Friday will be our predictions episode. We might reschedule the promo podcast because that's also supposed to happen Friday.
Oh, yeah.
And that might be a little too much. So we'll see.
Wait, that's Friday? What?
Yeah. Am I wrong?
No, you're definitely wrong.
No, it's the 27th. September 27th is when the...
Yeah, and then there's another podcast. Oh, it's the last Friday of the month.
Yeah, last Friday of the month. You did this last time, too.
I did, yeah.
So yeah, we might reschedule that. Maybe we'll do it on that following Wednesday. So it can be the last podcast of the month. Just to make our lives a little less... Make your lives a little less... in depth. I don't fucking know. You know what? Play us out.
I would like to go to sleep at some point that night. But thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, hit that follow button down below, and you'll be notified whenever we go live. And follow us on Twitter, like I already said, at the Pinfall Cast. You'll also be notified whenever we go live, as well as see our picks for Fighter and Fight of the Night, which we post at the end of every podcast in case you forget to watch a podcast episode. Which, if you do forget, check out our YouTube where all of this is posted afterwards. The Pinfall Podcast on YouTube. You'll see all of our archived podcasts there, as well as this podcast if you missed part of it. And follow our personal Twitters as well. I'm at the Mark Cameron. Liz is at Eliza Elaine23. And oh, hold on, where is he? And follow my personal Twitch, twitch.tv/Mark Cameron. We got the UPF World Championship Tournament Finals this weekend. Despite the Instagram posts and the tweets, it is not tomorrow. It's not. They had to postpone it to Sunday. It is now Sunday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Something mixed up with scheduling. That's not my fault. I'm the champ, so whatever.
Sounds like you're blaming Quadruple E.
No. I'm blaming my sister on this. It's her fault. And I'm going to wipe the floor with her on Sunday and claim that sweet, sweet UPF World Championship title. You guys better watch twitch.tv/Mark Cameron. You can see it there Sunday, 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And don't forget to follow this podcast. This is a sweet-ass podcast. And if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe. All right. And I guess these guys will see you on, what is it? Monday? See you Monday? Is that how it is?
But do you want to be my guest host Monday?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
The champ appears everywhere.
All right, sure. I'll see you Monday then. Monday at 11. Okay?
We'll see you Monday.
Okay.
Rockin'.
We're absolutely rocking. Thank you, brother.
Because that's what champs do. I'll see you all on Monday.
All right.
Well, Sunday, if you tune into the UPF World Championship Finals. Don't forget. Have a good night, everybody.